Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rachel and it's another week of Every Bit Counts Challenge. Thanks to Jessica from Three Rivers Homestead that is kind of inspiring everyone to get out there during, I don't know, garden season, flower season, all kinds of seasons, and there's Zipper, and either freeze, can, dehydrate, do whatever you can to preserve food for the winter, for your home, for your homestead, and get it put away. So, and let me tell you, I've had quite the week. If you haven't seen my last video, go check that out, because towards the end of the week, I got a lot less done because we lost power for almost 4 days, and then come to find out, my freezers were fine, but my refrigerator died. Anyway, long story. This one, it's dead. I'm waiting for the new one. So, but just shows you how much food preserved and put away is very helpful during those times. So anyway, let's see what we're going to get to this week. I think I know I have some carrots I need to take care of. I know there is something, some peppers maybe. There he goes again. Anyway, so stay tuned, check it out. I will put the hashtag in there for Every Bit Counts Challenge. If you click on that hashtag, it's amazing. It'll go to all the other people that are doing these challenges and see what they're preserving, how they're preserving it, their recipes, what they're doing. It could be something you might not even think about preserving, or you didn't think of that recipe, and it's always the same old thing that you do all the time. So check it out. And yeah, so all of August, Every Bit Counts Challenge. It's amazing. You'll learn a lot. It inspires you to do a lot. So see what I get done this week. Cheers. Okay, so tonight we're gonna do some more applesauce. I meant to come home at lunch. I'm having some car problems, so I couldn't come home at lunch. But I have some plums. I had a bag of apples and plums that I got from Flashfood for $5. So I just cut up all the plums. I just kind of cut them down the middle, twisted them, and pulled out the pit. And then I'm going to cut up the apples and just kind of core them. Just cut off the sides, skins and all, throw them in with a little bit of sweetener. I'm not using sugar, a little bit of sweetener, and I'm going to put them on high for about 3 to 4 hours, and then we can can them up. Alright, so they're all chopped up. Not very much sweetener in there, and like I said, on high, 3 to 4 hours. Okay, so today we're going to work with carrots. This is a 5-pound bag of baby carrots I got from Flashfood. And I was going to save some, but I think I'm just going to use them all up. But I'm going to make carrot soup with them. So normally I just forgot to do it today before I left for work. I would so easily put this in the crock pot and let it go all day on low. And then, you know, we can puree it when we get home. But I think I'm just going to throw these in the stock pot right now, let them simmer for an hour while I do other things around the kitchen, and then I can puree it up and can it up. So let's get started. We'll need some onions, some broth, stuff like that, but for right now we just got to get these softened and cooked down. Okay, and I also chopped up a yellow bell pepper. You can use red, use whatever you want, and an onion, just in quarters, because remember, we're just cooking this for about an hour on the stove, and then we're going to be pureeing it anyway. Okay, so I got onions, the peppers. I'm going to put in about 2 cups of water and 4 cups of chicken stock. I'm also going to add in some garlic cloves. Don't worry, we'll chop them up later. It's fine. I'm also going to add in a little thyme. Obviously, if you have fresh, use that. I do not, so just a little bit in there. And some salt and pepper. I do like pepper. Okay. Okay, we're gonna put it on high, get this going to a boil in there. We'll stir it up here in a little bit and then turn it down to a simmer and let it cook for around an hour, just until everything is nice and soft so we can puree it. So tonight we are just gonna get these kind of chopped up and like the tops off them and stuff like that. This is a pepper that I got in like a mixed veggie box from Flashfood. So I got some other peppers and stuff, but these ones I'm going to dehydrate in my dehydrator. So I just want to get them started. They're a nice thin pepper. They should dehydrate probably by the next day, hopefully, and then I can just zhuzh them up and put them in a jar. So let's do that. Look, aren't they pretty though? So you know, these are hotter. These are a little bit better. So it'll be a nice good mixture to throw in chili. I'm sorry if you hear that noise. They're mowing our lawn. So I apologize if it's very loud in the background. All right, so I got that worked out to be 2 trays of it. So I just split them down the middle. I left the seeds and everything in because I'm just gonna pulverize it when it's dried out. So I'll get the top on. My dehydrator is one that is one temperature only. So I just put them all in there, put the lid on and let it go. And usually by, you know, the next day, 12 to 18 hours, things are pretty good and ready to be chopped up or stored away. Okay, I'm gonna get ready to immersion. And if I need to add a little more stock or something, I can do that in a few moments. Okay, so I did add about 2 more cups of chicken stock, and I think we're good. It's all pureed down. Oh, there's some bigger chunks in there, so I'll do a little more pureeing. And then my jars are warm and ready, and we can get this going. Okay, I still have some more left in here, but I got 4, 5, 6. So let me see what I can do here. Right, 4, 5, 6 pints. But it is beautiful. And I will say, if you need to make food for your baby, if you want homemade baby food, just leave out a lot of the spices and all that stuff and just do the carrots, cook that down and put them in the little half pint jars or something like that. Half pint or quarter pint, whatever, the little ones. Beautiful baby food. But this is really good. So when you would go to heat it up, it's good just the way it is right now. But you can add a little bit of heavy cream over the stovetop when you're ready to heat it up. Oh my God, it's really good. It would be really good kind of with some ham also in it. Yum. So anyway, we're going to process these. I'll see what I'm going to do with the remaining pressure can for an hour for pints. So hour and 15 for quarts if you want to do it in quarts. So, all right, let's do it. All right, I got 8 pints. Isn't that just pretty? And then when you go to heat it up in a pan, you just add a little heavy cream to it. It was so good. I tasted a lot of it. Whatever didn't fit in those jars, I ate already. Okay, can you guess what we are going to make with this? And maybe a can of tomatoes downstairs. Can you guess? Can you guess? Ratatouille! Woohoo! I'm so excited. So these are veggies that I got in like a mixed mystery bundle type thing from Flashfood. And there's more. There's still like 3 more zucchinis. I got some other peppers and some cucumbers. But anyway, so I thought, you know what? I'm going to use these all up. And if I have to add a little bit more tomato from downstairs that I already have in either a can from the store or something else, then I'll do it. But the eggplant really hit home with me for the ratatouille. So that's what I'm gonna do. We do like ratatouille, so we like to cook it up in the morning and put fried egg on top. It's really good. So I don't want it totally mushy. If you've never had ratatouille or you've seen the movie, the cartoon movie, which inspires this, I will say, I made it the first time ever, probably after the movie came out on DVD. It was probably a good 2 years after that, whatever. And we were at the cabin, and our cousin and I said, let's cook together or whatever. And she doesn't cook a lot, so, but she can follow directions. So we found a recipe and got all the stuff for ratatouille and made ratatouille while we watched the cartoon, or the movie, whatever. And it was great. It was so much fun. So anyway, so that it's good memories, and that's what it reminds me of. But anyway, I'm gonna can this up. We'll see what I get. I don't know. I'm just working with what I have, and it'll be fine. It'll be just fine. Some herbs are gonna go in there, basil, oregano, stuff like that. Yeah, I think that's it. But if you've never had it, it's pretty much just like a veggie stew kind of thing. But it's really good. It's very tasty. And you could eat it the way it is, obviously. You can also do it in slices. I've seen sliced ratatouille. This is gonna be more like a stew ratatouille, so it's gonna be in a jar, obviously cooked. We're gonna start off by sauteing some things. I gotta get onion out too. Sauteing it in the pan, and then we can can them up in the jar. It'll be 75 minutes for pints is what I'm gonna do. I may do a couple, it depends on how much I get out of this. I may do a couple of the half pints, just because if I want it just for eggs or something in the morning, I can pop that open. That's enough for us to put underneath fried eggs and put those on top, you know what I mean? But either way, doesn't matter. So that's what we're doing. So let's do this. Okay. Okay, I cut the onion, hence the onion goggles. Don't mind this atrocious mess in the background. Hold on. Okay, onion in. I'm going to add a little bit of garlic. We're going to start sauteing that up, and then we're going to get the eggplant and zucchini in. Look at that garlic. Yum. Okay, so this is sauteing up. Now we're going to add in all these little zucchinis. Now, in the meantime, I'm getting my jars ready so they're nice, they're getting hot, sterilized and hot. Get this going. I'm going to chop up the eggplant. And we got one little eggplant, but it'll do. It'll work. So we'll get this going. Okay. So, I also cut up a green and a yellow pepper. I was going to do the other two peppers, but I decided to hold off. I'm going to use those this weekend, and like kebabs. So, I'm putting the eggplant in, peppers, If you wanted to do quart jars, then you would do 90 minutes. So an hour and 30. Okay, I got this warmed up here. Just dice it all up. That's what we're doing. Get that cooked a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to add in what tomatoes I have. I did split these in half, and these ones were actually given to me by a friend from her garden. And then these were part of the Flashfood thing, the red ones. So I kind of diced those a little bit and split the other ones. So we're going to get these in here cooking for about 5 minutes. And I'll see if I need any more like canned tomatoes or something, which I probably will. I'm going to get some herbs and salt. I might as well put the salt in now because that'll bring out the moisture. Help that get going. Some pepper. Because we want some moisture going on, but let's see how this goes. Isn't that pretty? It is so beautiful. Look at that. smells amazing. Okay, let's add in some basil. Obviously, if you have fresh, go for it. I do, but I'm just not going to go outside right now. I'm trying to get this in the thing, the canner, so I can do some other stuff. Okay, this is oregano. We have to get in some, okay, we're going to do some balsamic vinegar, about a half a cup. We're going to do about 6 ounces of red wine. I just did one from one of our local wineries. We want this to simmer about 15 minutes. I might go get a can of tomatoes. Okay, so I actually went downstairs and got some of my basil diced tomatoes that I've done before. I'm going to pour that in. We're just going to let this simmer for another 5 minutes. That's good enough. And then we will can it up. Oh, it smells really good. I'll put just a little bit more salt in it. All right, let it simmer just for another 5 minutes. All right, let's do this. I'm going to just start filling them up. Juice in there. Doesn't look pretty, but it's pretty. I don't know how much this is going to do, so that's why, you know, this is what I do. Whoops, that's a little too full. We'll take out some on that one. Alright, let me get these filled. These ones are ones you always have to debubble when it's got texture to it and stuff, but you really gotta do these. Guess you can't see that, huh? Sorry. Might have a little too much in it. I'll have to take some of that out. Try to distribute the juice evenly also. Take a little bit of this one out, but these jars are so hot. Okay, these are messy little guys, so let's clean them up. You can use vinegar or you can use water. I just take a paper towel and do water on it. They're so hot. Touch. All right. Okay, I did get enough for a half a pint, so that's gonna go in there also. All right, it's going. Electric pressure canner, follow the directions, 75 minutes. Okay, so the peppers are nice and dry. Look at these. Aren't they beautiful? So I'm gonna throw some in here. I might, look at that, crunch. Now, I haven't decided if look at that. I want to make this into, like a, you know how they make jalapeno salt? Might use this, but I don't have any salt right now, like the, oh, I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. You probably hear the canner going right now. Yeah, it's gonna get me again. Excuse me. Alright, let me do these. Alright, the nose is running, but there we go. Look at that. We got half a jar out of those. So that would be great in chili, different spicy dishes you want to do, stuff like that. If I make it into salt, I will let you know. I will do a video on it. But you pretty much just mix this with salt and then you let it sit for a while. So this will not be canned. I'm just going to put the top on it and leave it on the counter along with the tea leaves and stuff that I've dehydrated. So that's what I'm going to do. And warning, it will make you sneeze. Oh. Okay, everybody. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. It's the last in this series. It will not be the last of me canning. It will not be the last of me preserving. But in the series, the Every Bit Counts challenge put on by Jessica, it'll be the last one for August. She does it all through August. But you will see more of me doing this because I still have more stuff to do. Yeah, so with a little snafu, with losing power, stuff like that, put me off a few days, but we're getting through it. And I will tell you the benefits of canning and preserving, not just canning, but preserving, is that, so this refrigerator here, if you saw my last video, check that out. I thought after we lost power for 4 days that, okay, well, this has taken time to get back to being cold and up to date, right? But at the same time, my freezer out in the garage, which isn't upright, and my little mini freezer downstairs were perfectly fine. Nice and solid cold. I did not lose any meat, if anyone's asking or wondering, out of all that. Thank you, God. So, but this thing, I'm like, what the hell? Why is the freezer in this, like, everything's soggy and melted and whatever? Well, it died. Now, I have known for a while that this was probably going to be going at some point. I just didn't think it was going to be during the storm that we had. So, that's why nothing was freezing to get in it. So, I have pretty much cleaned it out. It's pretty much empty, just ice pack, stuff like that. We have a new one coming, but it will not, because of the holiday coming up, we will not get it until Wednesday. So, that being said, I just have a little small refrigerator downstairs that used to just have pops and drinks in it for when people came over. Well, I took all that stuff out, and now I put in my cheeses and my necessities. So my cheeses and stuff like that in there. My Coke Zero is not even going in the fridge, you guys. Thank God I have an ice maker because I'm just making my cocktails with just my Coke Zero like this. I do have a cooler that I can put some stuff in, but you know what, whatever. We're going to be going to the camper here tomorrow anyway. So I'm not worried about it. So that being said, I couldn't get meat out of my freezer. I have meat, right? That's fine. But if I go to pull it out, I can't thaw it in the fridge because that's not even working. I mean, it's just the light comes on and that's it.
Hey, Millie does make it better.
Hold on. Sorry, watching Dick Van Dyke Show. So, like, well, I can't do that. Certain things. So, earlier in the week, I'll tell you my little story here real quick. Earlier in the week, burger thaws quick, right? So I'm like, okay, so when I came home at lunch, I got out the burger, put it on my little metal sheet thing that I use to thaw things up fast. And what did I make with that? I made a Mexican skillet deal for dinner. So, but I don't want a lot of leftovers because I have no room in the little refrige downstairs. So I had enough for like a little container like this that I used in my husband's lunch the next day. Making do, but you know, I'm trying to keep it limited. What did I do yesterday? I think I used some Sloppy Joes that I canned up already previously, months ago. Sloppy Joe mix, use that over some buns that we had, and I don't really think we had any leftovers from that because I do it in the pint, so it's not like a lot, you know what I mean? So that worked out perfectly, but see, it was already done. Everything else works now. I mean, we have our power back on, obviously. So I just couldn't store anything. I couldn't really thaw anything big, like a roast or anything, because I don't want it just sitting out, you know. Tonight we are going to do tacos. I already have canned taco meat downstairs that is already done. And so I'm just gonna pop a lid, heat it up over the stove, and put it in the little taco shells. And I do have some shredded cheese in the fridge downstairs, so I'll use that. I do have a thing of sour cream downstairs, so I had cheese, sour cream, cheese sticks, cottage cheese, heavy cream, something else, like our eggs and major things are down in that little fridge downstairs. It's funny, and it's throwing me off. Every morning I have to get up, go downstairs to get the things out to make breakfast, to make my husband's sandwich. Oh, my jam that I've made in the past. We're making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for his lunch because I don't have any lunch meat right now. And so, yeah, the jelly's downstairs. So, so I take a little basket down, put all my stuff in it, bring it upstairs, make his lunch, make our breakfast, take it back down, put the stuff away, and then I can go to work. So it's actually kind of a little bit fun, I'm not gonna lie. So, but it just proves, if you think about it and you're stocked and you're ready for things like this, this is the perfect situation, right? I mean, I'm making the best of it. We're still getting fed. We're not going out to eat like some people would if they didn't have a refrigerator. I'm not doing any of that. So I'm trying to think of one of the other things I made. Oh, ham steak, because ham thaws quickly, right? So it was a big ham steak. I had corn that was already canned downstairs, so I cooked that up on the stove and thawed the ham steak within an hour. It was kind of thawed out. Cooked that up. We had that one in the night, so everything is fine. Everything is going great. We're getting fed. We're not spending extra money. We're patiently waiting for our refrigerator, but there's a bug. But in the meantime, it's a holiday weekend. We have 4 days that we'll be at the camper. We'll be fine there. We got a refrigerator there. And then before you know it, our new one will be here. So I'm super excited about that. So hopefully, all that being said, you can see how important it is to, if you can, preserve what you have, preserve what you can get, preserve what you can maybe barter with someone and say, hey, I can can up, you know, if you have tomatoes and you got excess, I can can up and maybe we'll split them. You know, I mean, come on. I have people giving me stuff, and I had a friend that he had berries in his yard, and he's like, would you make me jam? And I said, sure, I'll make you jam, and then I'll take 2 or 3 of them, and then you can have the rest. He is perfectly happy with that. So it's kind of fun, you know, thinking of different ways you can get produce or fruits and even meats cheaper, whatever you can do right now, right? So, okay, I'm done babbling. Sure, gets a little irritating after a while. But anyway, hit that bell, hit the subscribe button if you have not, because there will be more preserving coming. There will be, since this is dead, what I had in this were my freezer meals. So there will be freezer meal videos coming. And what I want to do is also, I had a shelf just for breakfast things, pre-prep breakfast, so I want to do that again because I lost all that. And I also want to do prepped lunches. So when I come home for lunch, I'm not like, you know, I usually have my leftovers in the fridge, but if I don't have something for leftovers for me, because I'd rather have my husband eat them first over me because he works longer days than I do and works more physically, you know what I mean, and out in the elements, stuff like that. So I want him, and he's a guy, he eats more. So I kind of want to do the little freezer containers of, make my own little lunch meals that are in the freezer that I can put in the microwave if need be. So I'm going to be working on that. So those will be 3 different videos you'll want to look for coming up in the near future after I get the fridge and I get my life back together. So anyway, hit the subscribe button so you can see those. It's free, doesn't cost you anything. hit the like button. That really helps my channel and I appreciate it. And thank you for all my new viewers, and thank you for all the ones that have stuck around and actually watched the video from beginning to end and comment. I love the comments. So here we go. Cheers.